I need your help. Just 100 subscribers. That's all I'm asking. I shouldn't have heard it. God, I wish I hadn't. If I could rip those words out of my mind and cast them into nothingness, I would. Hours earlier, I'd been living in ignorance, blissfully unaware of the fractures splintering through my marriage. But once you hear your wife's voice, steady, calm, almost casual, say, I hate being with him. There's no one listening. Everything changes. That was the night it all began to unravel. It was a Thursday. Rain poured relentlessly, soaking me to the skin as I got home earlier than usual. The house was still, save for the hum of the dishwasher and faint laughter drifting from the living room. I opened my mouth to call for Emily, my wife of 8 years, when something in her voice froze me in place. She was on the phone, and she didn't sound like the Emily I knew. Her tone was lighter, almost buoyant, as though some invisible burden had finally lifted. I stood there in the hallway, dripping water across the hardwood floor, hardly daring to breathe. No, it's not just boredom, she said with a soft laugh. It's that I hate being with him. Everything feels heavy, suffocating. I feel trapped. The words cut through me like a blade. My hands clenched my jacket, so tightly my knuckles ached. She wasn't angry. She wasn't sad. She was calm, at peace, as if that confession had lived in her chest for years, waiting to be spoken. Then her voice shifted, quiet, intimate. But with you, it's different. I don't feel invisible. I feel alive. That was the breaking point. The ground gave way beneath me. I couldn't listen anymore. My body moved before my mind caught up. I staggered upstairs, heart hammering, hands trembling, throwing random clothes into a duffel, jeans, shirts, my toothbrush, barely knowing what I packed. I didn't slam the door. I didn't even say goodbye. I slipped into the rain like a ghost and slid behind the wheel of my car. My throat felt so tight I could barely breathe. 8 years. 8 years of love, sacrifice, carrying her through the grief of losing her father, of saving for the home we built together. And in one overheard sentence, it all shattered. I drove aimlessly through rain-slick streets, neon signs bleeding across puddles. Eventually, I pulled into a 24-hour diner on the outskirts of town. I sat there for hours, hands wrapped around a mug of bitter black coffee, staring at my reflection in the greasy window as her words spun in my head. I hate being with him. At 2 a.m, my phone buzzed. Emily. I ignored it. Another call. Then a text. Where are you? Your car's gone. Please answer me. I let the screen dim. Then another message. Did you hear me? Please, James, let me explain. So she knew. She realized I'd heard every word. Against my better judgment, I answered her next call. Her voice now was frantic, nothing like the giddy, light tone from earlier. James, where are you? Please come home. We need to talk. I swallowed hard, staring into the dark coffee. Talk about what? I heard everything, Emily. Silence. Thick, suffocating. Then, finally, her whisper. It's not what you think. I came back the next morning, not because I had hope, but because I needed answers. Emily was waiting in the kitchen, hair a mess, eyes swollen from crying. She shot to her feet when I stepped inside. James, please don't. I cut her off. My voice shook, but I stood firm. No excuses. No rehearsed lines. Just tell me who it is. Her lips quivered. Her eyes darted away. It's Mark. From work. I almost laughed, but it came out bitter, hollow. Mark. The co-worker she always swore was just a friend. The one I questioned. And she brushed aside. My chest constricted. How long? A few months, she whispered, tears spilling down. But it wasn't supposed to happen. I never planned it. Didn't plan it? My voice snapped like a whip. So, what? You just accidentally ended up in his bed? She covered her face, sobbing. I know I ruined everything, but James, when I said I hated being with you, I didn't mean it like it sounded. I stared at her, disbelief flooding me. Then explain it, because it sounded perfectly clear. Her shoulders shook as she sank into a chair. I was frustrated. You've been distant, tired, buried in work. I felt invisible. And Mark, he noticed me, He listened. For the first time in years, I felt alive. Her words scorched me deeper than fire. So your answer was to betray me? To tell him you hated your husband? I don't hate you, she sobbed. I hate what we become. That distinction should have meant something. But it didn't. It gutted me. Because to her, we'd already been broken long before I overheard that call. I went still. My voice was quiet, but sharp. You had a choice, Emily. You could have told me you were unhappy. We could have fought for us. But you chose him. She reached for me, desperate. James, please don't leave. We can fix this. I'll end it with him. I swear, don't give up on us. Maybe once. Her pleading would have pulled me back. But not anymore. I already did. My voice was barely above a whisper, and I walked out. The days that followed blurred together. I stayed with a friend, silencing Emily's constant calls and messages. Each voicemail was more desperate than the last. But every time I thought about returning, I remembered her voice saying she hated being with me. That poison never left. A week later, she showed up at my friend's door, pale, trembling, a shadow of herself. I broke it off with Mark, she said before I could even speak. He never meant anything. Please, James, don't throw us away. I studied her, really looked at her, and for the first time, I didn't see my wife. I didn't see the woman I'd trusted with my soul. I saw a stranger who had chosen lies over honesty. I'm not throwing us away, I said slowly. You already did. I'm just finally letting go. Her knees buckled, and she collapsed right there, sobbing into her hands. I don't want to lose you. For a split second, the old instinct tugged at me, the urge to comfort her. But then I remembered the rain, the diner, the bitter taste of coffee, and her voice confessing she hated being with me. I turned and walked into the night, leaving her behind. Months have passed since that night. The divorce papers are underway. Some mornings, I wonder if I should have fought harder, tried to piece together the wreckage. But then I remind myself, love without trust is nothing but a mirage. Once trust is broken, some things can be rebuilt. What struck me most wasn't her tears or her begging. It was her desperate grip on a cage I no longer wanted to live in. I didn't walk away because I stopped loving her. I walked away because, for the first time in years, I finally loved myself enough to leave.